I'm Mark.
I'm Casey.
And I'm Patrick.
And today we're going to talk about EVs and fees. But first, roll that title card, Casey.
Double taxed and overloaded, fixing EV road policies without reversing progress.
You're watching the TTL Life Express.
Yes, I did read that one instead of coming off the cuff.
That was a bit of an entry segment yourself there, Casey. Is he going to stop, or is he just going to tell the whole thing?
No, that was the title of my article, but we're going to talk about that today.
All right. So we're going to talk about two articles, but Patrick, his site carswithcords.net. Put the 3 W's in there, by the way, if you're going to go search for that. But Patrick's got a story about EVs and their fair share. And I got a feeling that he thinks that maybe the fair share is not being so fair.
That's right. Yes. So as you know, gas taxes pay for a lot of our roads. And EVs use the roads just like gas cars do. So they should pay their fair share. But what is a fair share? And I think some legislators are anti-EV and are putting onerous fees on EVs, not a fair share, far beyond a fair share.
On top of states.
Right, yes. So, yes, states are doing this, and the feds as well are trying to, although they've run into some stumbling blocks because they don't really have an easy way to collect that money. They don't. Anyway, I wanted to put some thoughts out about this and have a discussion about it. And I was trying to find a good analogy to explain the problem. And I want to. Here's what I came up with. You can critique it and let me know what you think about it. Two guys stroll up to a bar. One's clean cut, suit pressed, looking like he just stepped off the cover of GQ or out of a cologne ad. The other guy's a mess, wearing stained sweats, reeking of smoke and BO. Dirt smudged on his face, a cigarette dangling. The doorman eyes them both, smirks, and says to the clean guy, "That'll be $25." Then he turns to the mess and goes, "You're good for 10." The clean guy sputters, "What? Why am I paying 2.5 times more?" The doorman chuckles, "Buddy, you're too clean. You make everyone else in the bar look bad. We charge extra for that." And that 2.5 times is about what it works out for. So using average gas mileage and the amount of tax, it works out to about $100 a year that normal gas cars are paying. Well, EVs, the proposed registration fee was $250 a year. So 2.5 times more for being clean.
That doesn't seem fair, does it?
No, it does not.
Because of course, some of those cars that are gasoline, you can have them that they just sip fuel and they're under the $100, right?
Right. Yes, the average is 100. Yeah. So right. So I mean, if you have a nice
Prius or something along that line,
exactly.
They're probably paying a lot less than 100, and they're getting away with it because their car is efficient. Well,
yes,
I can tell you that our cars, the EVs, they're far more efficient. So how come we're getting treated so much differently?
And if these weren't available and we didn't feel like making our own, we would be driving those same fuel efficient cars, not the average car.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, I did too. I was driving a Prius before I got my first EV. For fuel efficiency, and it makes sense. You know, that was the technology of the time at the high end, and we were early adopters into both hybrids and to plug-in hybrids in your guys' case, and then EVs. So it really is punitive the way that it's set up now. And so the litmus test I came up with was, if you have a proposal, could you replace the gas tax completely? Like all cars go to the new thing. And if so many people would be outraged by that, then it's wrong. And if you said all cars pay $250 a year registration, you would have people that would be up in arms about it. And so right now, EV drivers, I mean, I'm up in arms about it, but we're a minority of drivers or constituents, and we don't necessarily have the voice to be able to fight this stuff. just know that eventually, whatever happens here, taxes never go down; they only go up. And so, at some point in the future, if you don't drive an EV now, you're probably going to be driving one in 2030, not too far from now, 2035 at the latest, and you're going to be paying those fees. So, this is the time to make sure we get something in place that's fair for everybody.
And the reason I say double taxed is the average of the states that put in these their loss of gas tax is $250. So
Hey, Casey, your audio is cutting out for me. I don't know if it's. Could you hear him, Mark?
No, it was choppy.
Okay.
Let me adjust something here real quick.
Yeah, we can hear her fine.
How do I sound now?
Yeah, we can hear you
good.
now.
The reason I say double taxed is a lot of the states that are just pulling numbers out of thin air to make up for their gas tax are using $250. Some much more than that. I was slapped with a $450 one in one of the states once. Yeah.
Wow.
So
Is wrong.
Exactly, and that's why I say double taxed.
Mhm.
Not just no taxation without representation, but wow, and they need something that makes sense and is fair and equitable for everyone. Like you said, if they said 250 for everyone, then the commercial operators would be like, yeah, that's cheap, let's do it, and everyone else would be like, what the heck are you guys up to? This is ridiculous.
Mhm.
Makes no sense. In my comment on your article, I pointed out that what if I got a vehicle that only was registered so that I could take it on public roads to go to the dump or the recycle center, and every other waking moment, sleeping moment as well, it was just parked in the yard.
Right. Low mileage vehicles. There's a lot of them. Recreational vehicles, other things that we don't drive very much. We've talked about that on the show. When the last few years I was working, I worked from home, and I was able to get reduced insurance rate for low mileage, and but I still have to pay full registration. One thing that is nice about the gas tax is it scales with how much you drive, and it also scales with how much fuel you burn, and you want to discourage the pollution, so that works out really well. One of the things that Oregon is doing, they're looking at revising their gas tax, and I think this is really cool. What they want to make the EV fee is per mile 5% of the gas tax. So that averages to 20 miles per gallon that you're paying, which is not horrible. I mean, obviously our cars, if they were gas cars, would be 70, 80, 100 miles per gallon equivalent efficiency, but that's okay. It's not just, you have to pay a whole lot more than the gas cars. It's something that scales with the gas tax over time. And I think that's a fair way to do it.
That's pretty fair too. One thing I wanted to point out is, two things, I guess. A lot of places that are doing this, they already have a retail tax on home electricity where you're going to be filling up, and almost everywhere has a tax on the electricity you're getting at the public fast chargers, like Superchargers or Electrify America. And then on my article, Farzad, I believe it was, commented that what if we put it on the tires? Because that also runs perfectly in line with what you're doing. Like if you don't inflate your tires properly, they will burn up faster. If you drive recklessly, they will burn up faster. If your vehicle is heavier or you drive more, you use more tires than if you are somebody who is a limited mile user, or if your car literally just sits most of the year. So those are two to consider.
Exactly.
Yeah. Tire tax is a good idea. You have to make sure that if it's at the federal level, that's fine. But if it's per state, okay. If one state has it and one doesn't, you're just going to drive across the state line and go buy it from the state where you don't have to pay that tax.
Yeah.
But my thought would be that if you've got vehicles like Priuses and others that are paying a smaller gas tax, I think that you take a kind of a look at what the average is for those, and you turn around and say, well, EVs are along the same line. They don't pollute, and they pollute even far less than the hybrid vehicles. And if we're charging them X amount over a given year, then they should be under that particular plan of $75 or whatever it works out to be equivalent. I think that's the way it should be done. But as Patrick has mentioned in his article, I think, and Casey's entailed this as well, I think that we've got some state lawmakers that are a little bit on the anti-EV and trying to make a statement at this particular point in time.
Yeah, in fact, some of the states have gone the other direction, and they have the same concept, just less outrageous of a number, because there are way more hybrid drivers out there. They've just slapped an arbitrary number on the hybrids too.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and they throw this all under the umbrella of fairness, but they have an ulterior motive. And Mark, what you just talked about is more about a carbon tax, which I'm in favor of. So, but they're not saying that's what it is. They're saying it's a road tax, and I fully agree that we should have both, because the air that we all breathe, if someone's polluting it, there are consequences to that, and they should be paying that externality, not just getting away with it. That money should be going into environmental programs, things that can air quality monitoring, and other things that are related exactly to the pollution they're causing.
Or like the cancer fund, or kids' asthma, everything that these things are exacerbating.
Or incentives for EVs to help get those things off the road.
Yeah.
That would be a great use of those
EVs
funds.
off the road? Is that what you're saying?
No, the polluters pay.
Get those things off the road.
Incentives, yes. Thank you for clarifying my statement. I don't want that one out of context. Pat, the EV hater.
Right. Yeah. So I wrote my article when this guy, I call him Anti-Buttigieg, was getting nominated, and then we had a discussion about it then, and then I like that you came back and weighed in on it again to give this more thought, and you put in actual numbers to. I'm not saying I didn't have numbers, but you put in numbers to show how bad this is. Like, like you've got a table in there that makes it super clear.
Right.
So, Patrick, how do people get to your ad? Not your ad, your article, and being able to respond to it? carswithcords.net. Go check it out. I've been writing a lot lately. I've read about EVs and solar are my primary subjects there. And it's all about a future free from fossil fuels. That's what we're trying to get to. Fantastic.
We would like to be able to breathe the air.
We all would, yes, but definitely the babies of the world, for sure.
Clean air, clean water,
Casey,
little things.
Any shout outs from you?
Yeah. Catch us on Sunday at youtube.com/Casey Green and at x.com/gcustom for Let's Chat with Casey and Friends on Sunday. And you two are welcome to show up. You guys, same, just barge on in with the same credentials as this place. And it's not just them. We have other guests that show up from time to time. And we run a X space side by side with it. So you can dial in, and you have a little bit of a long-time listener, first-time caller situation.
So cool.
You're there. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. Well, we thank everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please give us a thumbs up on the video. Press that subscribe button. Helps us out immensely. And we'll get together next time and find out what's happening in the Tesla life.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye. Stay positive. Test negative.